Welcome to Consensus Builder, overview for facilitators and participants. My name is David, and I'll be guiding you through this tutorial. Before the workshop begins, we will provide you with a link, a user ID, and a password. Each user ID and password will be unique to each participant or facilitator. As you can see here, these are what the Logon screens look like. When using Consensus Builder to help your organization, there are three roles. The first is that of a participant. The participant gives feedback on the information that is presented and participates in decisions. The second role is that of a facilitator. The facilitator encourages group participation and coordinates group decision-making. In addition, they tell Consensus Builder that a group has made a decision. The third role is that of a consultant. The consultant leads the workshop, customizes Consensus Builder, and ensures objectives are met. After people are organized into groups, Consensus Builder uses an iterative decision-making process that moves from general upfront decisions into a specific project plan. As part of this process, information may be gathered and presented as part of SharePoint. There may be an opportunity for individual input, both verbally and in Consensus Builder. You will then see a group summary on how other people have responded. Hopefully there will be some very good group discussion going on in the workshop. At some point, you may be asked to criteria rate the various group ideas that your groups have come up with. You will see a graph about how people agree. That will certainly generate more discussion, and then come to some kind of final decision. After that initial decision, you will then go through the cycle again and again until you come up with a task plan that is importable into Microsoft Project. Consensus Builder uses various icons, some of which are shown here. If you see this icon, it means you will be asked for your individual input. Clicking on this icon will show you your group's summary of their input. Clicking on this icon will go either to a Word, PDF, or multimedia file that you may be asked to read or look at. Clicking on this icon will show you an interactive graph that displays how people in your group responded. Clicking on this icon brings you to a screen that allows the group to come up with its final approval and decision. Clicking on the clipboard and checkbox icon will bring you to the plan that you and your group will develop. When you use Consensus Builder for strategic planning and change management, you will see the Consensus Builder menu sequenced into levels. Level 0 for upfront decisions, Level 1 for scenario planning, Level 2 for strategic planning, and levels 3 and 4 for change management and plan development. What you see here is a generic example. We may customize these steps for you. Please notice on the right-hand side that there may be an additional area to the right of the main menu for creating threaded discussion groups, as well as creating task lists for tracking intermediate tasks that may need to be done before your final plan is finished. We'll first talk about Level 0 questions, those upfront framework questions that are necessary before a strategic plan or change management plan can be developed. One of these Level 0 questions is what upfront decisions should be made. In this case, these upfront decisions may be put in by a participant after receiving various presentations by group members and by the consultant. After participants have entered their opinions, you can then click on the Upfront Decisions Group Summary to see how other members of your group have answered them. Here is an example of the Group Summary screen of upfront decisions made by one group before they are approved by your facilitator. In this example, the group has defined who might be on the steering committee. After group discussion and perhaps debate, the facilitator then asks the group members if they have finally agreed to the list, and then approves the data. Approval of the data will then tell Consensus Builder that you are ready to go on to the next step. This process is repeated for facts and trends, where individual participants put in their opinions, they see the group summary, they discuss, and then with the group's approval, the facilitator then lets Consensus Builder know you are ready for the next step. In Level 1, participants will review the scenario that has been assigned to their group, individually brainstorm opportunities and threats, view their group's answers and how they responded, and then criteria rate opportunities. As you can see here, this group has described a number of opportunities and threats should the scenario come about. After discussion, this list can then be approved by the group, and the facilitator can let Consensus Builder know you're ready to go to the next step. At Level 2, participants will define the capabilities and future needs required to successfully accomplish the opportunities that they have defined before, see a graph of group ratings, and then decide what opportunities will become goals. In addition, they will develop a mission statement, see how their group have defined that mission statement, and do the final approval of the mission. In the first step of Level 2, you will be criteria rating your organization's capabilities and future needs on the opportunities that your group has defined. You will individually criteria rate each opportunity that your group has come up with on a scale of 1 to 10. As you can see in this example, this is an interactive graph to show you how your group has evaluated all the opportunities it has generated. You can focus on the overall group summary, look at just one opportunity, or look at one particular criterion. You can then choose to see a graph of group ratings to see on how your group's participants have criteria rated capabilities and future needs. At Level 3 and 4, you will be asked to define what measures of success the company should have, who the stakeholders should be in this particular process, and what the plan is going to be to implement your strategies. To show in more detail plan development, as you can see here, group members can enter start date, tasks, durations, and who tasks are assigned to as part of the development of their plan. As the final step, individual members will approve the plan that they have agreed to as a group.